Congratulations on your new album.
Thank you. It's out there. Somebody from New Zealand just messaged me to say they'd listened to it. But
yes, because it's the 26th here already.
I can't believe that. Mind blowing.
It's very exciting. So how are you feeling about putting it out in this kind of environment?
Every album release is horrible.
Okay.
I guess it's like, especially this album is like taking everything that's very deeply personal to me and just putting it out
like, there. Yeah.
I know that a lot of artists say that about albums, but this album is like, I've never written anything like this, truly. So
right.
Scary.
Was it hard to do, or was it cathartic, or both?
I didn't even know. So I normally release an album every couple of years, and this record was ready in October, so it was supposed to go out then, but COVID was just ruined everything. But I didn't even know I was writing an album until I had this collection of songs, and I said to my manager, I was like, I think I've written a record. But the funny thing is the last time I did that, I was like 18.
Right.
So yeah, and that's not something that just really happens. So it's a real privilege to have been able to do that.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm talking to a lot of artists all over the planet these days, and it's not an uncommon scenario. People are put in this situation, and those who are so inclined are just getting creative. It's fantastic. Yeah. So
I'm glad, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine not having an outlet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like somewhere to put it. I always say that to my friends when they're sad. I'm like, what do you do with that?
Mm-hmm. Right. So if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your journey from the previous album, which came out in 2019, to where you are today.
Well,
musically and artistically.
In terms of my life, like, which is what these records are. They're just a reflection of what goes on. I mean, the cover of my last album has my ex-wife on it.
Okay.
That is how, from there to here, this has gone.
Yeah.
The last album, I remember releasing it and thinking, this isn't the best. This isn't any of my best work.
Right.
I knew that, but that's my job, and I make records, and so since then, just there has been so much going on in life. The sound has matured, the content has matured. Yeah. It's somebody described it as a departure from my older stuff earlier, but I think it's more of an evolution.
Right. Yeah, because like right off the bat on the opening track, Flowers, you got that twangy thing going on, and that's probably in somebody's minds, oh, it's more mature, because it's almost the usual kind of synthy pop stuff that a lot of people are putting out. There's, especially if we're younger. So was that a conscious decision on your part to put that in there?
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the States last year, like several months touring and doing work, and then when I had any time off, I literally just hired a Harley Davidson and rode through the desert. And
as you do.
I mean, when I have time, I need to just like escape, and so I spent a lot of time riding through that like Red Rock area, the desert, and lots of Tarantino-esque buildings everywhere.
Well, there you go.
And so when I was listening to a lot of like get your motor running, get out on the highway.
Born to be wild, all right.
Yes. So in my mind, I had this almost Tarantino sound that I wanted it to sound like you're in a convertible driving through the desert.
Nice. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
And so you see, that's I mean, driving around and getting on a motorcycle is a very physical thing, and which leads me to your video for Animal, which is I see. There's comments on the on YouTube. They're worried that you took some punches during that.
Oh, so the girl is an actor, but she's also a like proper boxer. She's like did Olympic stuff in her youth.
See, there's comments on the on YouTube. They're worried that you took some punches during that.
Oh, so the girl is an actor, but she's also a like proper boxer. She's like did Olympic stuff in her youth. And when we were filming the video, I said, "Oh well, I want to make this look really real. I don't want to be another woman who does like a kind of flouncy boxing video." So I said, "Well, why don't we film a proper round? That can be the last thing we film in the day." And halfway through that video, if you look closely, she delivers a left hook to me, and my hands go like this, and you can see. that was it. Then I said, "No more. No, I'm done. I'm out."
Man. Did you train for it?
Yeah, I trained quite consistently for it. And I wanted to move like a boxer. I wanted to, I've been doing a lot of boxing training on and off for a few years, but yeah, I've kind of focused quite a lot on that.
Are you a boxing fan?
I am. Yeah, my favorite fighter is Terry Harper. She's a British boxer, and she is just unbelievable.
Yeah, very cool. I met Muhammad Ali once. I was there.
Oh! Amazing.
I can't beat that.
I don't think I'd be able to talk if I met someone like that.
It was pretty mind-blowing. Anyway, so speaking of the desert, there is a song called "I Spend a Night in a Desert." So, did you?
It's about that same trip. I was in Vegas. Well, I was just outside of Vegas. So, me and my friends saw a little tiny house on Airbnb. Yeah. And so we traveled out on the border of California and Nevada and stayed in this little house in the middle of the desert. And I turned to my friend, we were sitting around a fire and the moon was so bright and it was perfect. And I turned to my friend and I said, "This is the kind of night that you can write songs about." And that's the line in the song. I said, "This is the kind of night that you can write songs about."
Right.
And it's about that trip.
Well, that's the best kind of art imitating life, imitating art, imitating life. It's the endless circle, I guess.
Yeah, it truly is.
Now you have another video for the song "Run," which is kind of the song itself is really catchy, I noticed. And yeah, what are you running from these days?
I think it's what I'm running towards.
Okay, that's
I was running away from a lot my entire life,
right.
And then I gave up drinking 19 months ago, and I took up running about 6 months into being sober. And before that, I'd never run for anything apart from maybe an ice cream truck or a bus.
I'm with you.
And it just totally took over. And I wrote "Run" sort of as a pace while I was running. I had the idea for the melody, and it just came really naturally.
Right. Well, you mentioned that you stopped drinking. How difficult is that to do, especially in your line of work?
Oh, pretty hard. I mean, when you start off in music, you play shows for beer tokens.
Yes.
And then you get a little bit further up and your rider, almost always on a standard rider, is alcohol. And then you get your tour bus, and the tour bus is always full of alcohol. And wherever you turn, there's free beer. And So for me, I did a 39-date tour across the UK and Europe in October, and I was already sober. I think it was 3 months sober, and it was the most enjoyable tour I've ever done.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
was very present.
Right.
We had a lot of non-alcoholic beers, so it didn't feel disjointed.
Right.
My tour manager, I had no idea, was like 10 years sober.
Oh, really?
Bizarre.
Yeah.
And my keys player, he was just like, look, I'm gonna do it with you. So it was really enjoyable.
Well, it's having supportive people around you is going to make a big difference. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if everybody else is trashed and sticking beers in front of your face, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, well, it's easy for me. It's easier for me because I know what kind of joy being sober brings me.
Right.
So to me, I also train a lot. I do a lot of like physical exercise. So
right.
The thought of drinking, I'm like, I would rather get up tomorrow and do something productive than drink.
Uh-huh. Now another song.
I never thought I would say that, by the way.
Okay. Well, we have it recorded. Amazing. Another song I wanted to touch on was Heartbreak, which sounds very autobiographical. Something about the end there.
It's the song itself is about all of my flaws, which have been they've played a huge role in my life.
Right.
The song isn't about having my heart broken by somebody else. It's about my recycled toxic behavior throughout my entire life. It's like when things get tough, I tend to just break my own heart. I break everybody else's heart. I drop a grenade into my life. I turn around and I walk away and I don't look back. And it's something I've tried to break the cycle of. And I feel like, Heartbreak Sweets, that song is probably the last time I'm going to be documented doing that, because
although you do have one called "You've Let Yourself Down," so that's kind of wise.
That song is it's to do with the same relationship. It's how you can do. People get their revenge in many different ways, and "You've Let Yourself Down" is kind of about somebody just bringing themselves right down to your level.
Right. So the record's out today, here at least. What's the plan?
Well,
you're gonna have a good
plan. I mean, we can't tour. I've got a live stream tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow here. A live stream show that people will be attending. To be honest with you, it's all everything's online. It's just getting people to help on social media. It's hard.
Yeah. So do you think with the communicating like this, as a matter of fact, has it changed the way you think about how you interact with people?
I just miss people. Like one of the reasons I love music so much is because it takes me to Wisconsin, or it takes me to Switzerland, and I'll play these shows. I'll play like to a few thousand people here, and then I'll go to another country where I'm playing to 150 people, and I get to go and have a tour of the city by somebody who knows of my music in another country. And that to me is like the magic of what I do.
Gotcha.
That's like why wouldn't you want to do that? So that's what I miss. Some people have said, I'll stick to doing interviews via Zoom. Like, no way. I'm gonna be traveling a lot.
Good on you. Well, hopefully you can travel down here sometime soon.
Well, I had an Australian tour booked for the very beginning of lockdown, which got cancelled. And so when I realized New Zealand wasn't on there, I said to them, listen, when you reschedule, I'm not flying halfway across the globe and not going to New Zealand as well. So they're going to stick that on there as well.
Good on you. That's what I like to hear. Well, hopefully things will come back to normal, or whatever they're going to come back to at some point, and at least get some overseas artists coming in. We have a pretty good local scene, but we like to see.
Well, I'd love to come, and if you can recommend anywhere, please let us know. And
I'll certainly do that. That's not a problem. Excellent. Well, have a great day tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's going well here. Sun is out. It's summertime.
Scary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll see you over there sometime.
That sounds good. Thanks.
Cheers.